Good morning, gamers. Battlefield 2042's open beta has now come and gone, and I wanted to make a video about it and give my thoughts on it, both the good and the bad. So, this is that video. Subscribe to the channel, click all the links in the description below. Let's go ahead and get into it. Obviously, the beta has its issues. Let's start with the bugs. There's a lot of them. For one thing, just collision in general is very off because it's very easy to put your head beneath the ground or through walls or anything of this sort. A lot of the times you can't actually open doors to get into buildings. This bug where this dude got shot in the face and insta-revives himself because of an issue with healing. This one where the pilot of helicopters just aren't in their seats. This one where your keybinds are messed up. You have to unbind stuff so you weren't infinitely shooting. And I couldn't even control vehicles with my bindings. The bug where, I don't even know how to describe this. Good news is, all these bugs are mostly funny and not that serious, and should be pretty easy to get squashed. Now, one bug that I hope they will never ever fix is this grapple bug that makes you the big movement god of Battlefield. Never remove this, ever, please. It's actually a very hard to learn and hard to pull off mechanic, and it's just nice to have in the game to give player options. But, you know, I will understand if it's taken away from a Battlefield game, but it's so much fun. Overall, all the bugs weren't that bad and were minor annoyances at the most. They do need to be fixed, but the majority of them should be fixed by the time of full release, considering the build we played was already a few months old. The next major issue I noticed while I was playing the beta was the servers and the hit reg. I teleported around the map a good amount, and a lot of the time bullets that I know should have hit definitely didn't. The game kind of felt rough because of this. I definitely think the servers and hit reg could use a good bit of work before full release. But the good news here though is that the servers didn't overfill or anything, so at least it should be playable and they understand how the servers behave under load now. My next major issue that might have made me the most upset about this game actually is the optimization of this game. Because holy crap, what went wrong here? Why does Battlefield 2042 literally only use the CPU? My GPU was at 0% the entire weekend I did of playing this game. This could have been some allocation issue, but this still shouldn't be a problem. Almost every single person I talked to also reported that they had the same issue where it only used their CPU and not their GPU. I know that this wasn't random because of that, and I just saw and heard a lot of other people complaining about it on the internet as well. Because of how bad the optimization is, I couldn't even record my own gameplay very well, so that's why you're not seeing, well, any of me here. All the links are in the description for all the Reddit users and all that, but also follow me at twitch.tv/crypt6 so you can see my high action gameplay, baby, you know what I'm saying? This is another thing that should be fixable, the optimization of the game, that being. But again, we're just gonna have to wait and see whether they actually fix it or not. One of the biggest issues complained about by the community is the specialist. I personally don't really agree with this complaint. The basic argument is you can't tell what the enemy you're looking at is capable of like you could with the classes, and now that they're removed, there's just another level of mystery and a little bit lower skill cap. I'm personally cool with specialists because I'm used to anyone being able to use any gun. You still have some readability here since you know what ability the other player will have, whether it's a grapple or a heal gun or a sentry turret. So I'm personally fine with specialists, and I actually really like that you can use any gun anywhere. Also, they did a good job with rocket launchers, making it so not everyone is running with one and putting it into a gadget slot with ammos boxes and stuff. It feels good, the amount of rocket launchers that are on the field at any one given time. One point I 100% agree with the community, though, is visibility is an issue. Target acquisition is not good as of right now. It is pretty hard to tell the difference between a teammate and an enemy. You have to be very focused to see that tiny blue dot that hovers above your friendly's heads. And it's not always on your screen. I've shot at teammates a lot in this beta. I've shot at them a lot. I'm happy that friendly fire wasn't on because I would have killed a lot of teammates. I think factions would also be beneficial, and like at least giving us different camo types so that we could tell by that. Like there's plenty of things on Reddit and just social media in general of people just going into Photoshop and just adding a camo onto somebody. It would be a very beneficial thing to have just camos or factions or something of that sort to give us some other visual indication of who's an enemy and who's a teammate. Just please give us that. It's super important. My next point of criticism is the missing mechanics. The video that I'm playing in the background is a good example of a lot of what's missing from the game that was in past Battlefield games, but I don't agree with all of them because a lot of them could just be design decisions. But a lot of these should have made it to Battlefield 24. For example, the mantle in 2042 feels terrible and doesn't really help you that much. There's no crouch sprint, there's no supine stance, and plenty of other movement mechanics are just missing from the game. It feels like Battlefield took one step forward and tried to revolutionize what they're doing, but took 2 steps back by leaving behind small things from past games. Okay, one last negative point before I start talking about what I actually liked with the beta. The sensitivity settings were terrible. Apparently they were bugged, like the mouse and keyboard controllers were bugged to simulate analog sticks, which is crazy. But I couldn't get any conversion from my Titanfall 2 sensitivity to be correct for my Battlefield sense, and it took me a full 2 days of just playing the game to find a sense that felt correct. And I don't even know if it was completely accurate because I was just going off feeling. They did say sensitivity was bugged and has since then been fixed. But overall, the sensitivity and tuning it to be correct was terrible in the beta, but I think they have fixed this since the beta. Also, just changing settings was pretty rough in general with the UI and all that. Okay, that's enough negative. Let's talk about what was good and what I liked about the game. First of all, the plus system is awesome to me. I love being able to customize your gun for the situation you know you're about to be in. Brings another level of thought and strategy into the game for me. It's so satisfying to use this system well. Also, small tip in case you didn't know, if you run out of ammo with a certain magazine equipped and there's no ammo around you to be picked up, you can just use the plus system, switch your ammo type, and be full ammo with that type, and just by switching your magazine. Now you can keep on shooting. Next thing I want to say I really liked about the game is the gunplay. A lot of people don't like it. Apparently the hardcore veterans of Battlefield just didn't like the gunplay as much as me, but for me at least, it did feel fun to shoot the guns. The recoil felt good, the ammo count is just right. It's just good gun design to me. Some people disagree with me, of course, but I think if you're complaining about the gunplay in this one, it's just not for you, or you're looking for something to not like. Of course, every opinion is valid, but I do want to know why people say gunplay doesn't feel good in this. So if you have an opinion like that, please comment down below and let me know. Each gun excels in the area it's supposed to, though. The SMGs are good at close range, the ARs are good all-around weapons, the LMG is good for laying down a lot of bullets, and the snipers are good at long range. It's just really well balanced to me, and I like it a lot. But anyways, moving on, I also really like the sliding and the physics of this game. It feels good to move around the map, and I really like the way the slide works. I think if they leave the grapple bug in and bring back old movement mechanics that were left behind, I think the movement of 2042 will be amazing. My last point for this video is just the way the game plays and feels in general. Despite what a lot of people will tell you, the game does feel like a Battlefield. In the sense that there's tons of chaos and crazy only in Battlefield moments just happening all the time. That's what the series is about to me. I think if destruction was a bit more amplified, it would really be the true Battlefield experience. So, overall thoughts time. The game, overall, was a lot of fun. There were plenty of issues, but there wasn't anything super major. The thing is that there were a lot of minor issues that accumulated to make people think this situation is worse than it is. I think as long as Dicey took in the feedback and takes the time they've had since the beta build and full release, just that time in between, and they polish up the game and fix all of the issues, the game will be amazing on release. All past Battlefield games that I know of have had rough betas and pretty rough launches too, but every single Battlefield game ends up being loved by the community. Each of the issues found in the beta though are very fixable in the time frame they have by the respective teams that would be working on that issue. It would just take a lot of hard work. A lot of the issues that the community had could have come down to design decisions as well. But I do think it's extremely possible for the game to be fully fixed and good to go for release. Whether or not that actually happens, again, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. It does mean a lot to me. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, on Twitter, join the Discord, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next Wednesday for a new video, and on Twitch whenever my internet is acting okay. But thanks for watching guys, it does mean a lot to me. GG's and goodbye.